welcome to another episode of Untold Legends, where we explore the stories found within the worlds of video games, movies, comics, and anything in between. Last time on the Mortal Kombat timeline, I detailed the story of the shadowy warrior from the depths of the Netherrealm, Noob Saibot. I covered his debut as a secret combatant in Mortal Kombat 2, his connection to Bi-Han, the original Sub-Zero, all the way through his embracement of evil, and plots to cover the world in darkness alongside the greatest villains of Mortal Kombat. Today I'll be covering one of the top requests for character coverage that I constantly receive, and probably the most important character in all of Mortal Kombat lore, involved in almost every single aspect of the story. Thunder God, biggest consulter of the Elder Gods in history, and electric Lord of the Dance Moves, Raiden. Since his debut in the original game, Raiden has been a staple of Mortal Kombat, the backbone of the series, many times responsible for gathering Earthrealm's warriors together against greater threats. And although he's been mostly playable throughout the years, his role in the story has flip-flopped, affecting his godly status to having his hands tied and being forced to watch events unfold from the sidelines. And in both main iterations of the character, he begins as a benevolent protector of humanity to something a bit darker, a bit more fierce, tired of dealing with BS from other realms.
Decades pass, yet still we are locked in combat.
To live is to fight, Raiden.
Then you, once again, must die.
But in a story originally about a Shaolin martial arts tournament, how did a supernatural thunder god come into play? How did the creators of Mortal Kombat come up with the idea of Raiden? Much like other characters in the series, the creation of Raiden was a fusion of pop culture and mythology. During initial development, when the creative team was still coming up with ideas, series co-creator John Tobias began researching Asian mythology and stories. After a visit to the Field Museum of Natural History in Chicago, he came across a statue of the Japanese god of lightning, thunder, and storms, known as Raiden, and he had a revelation. Mortal Kombat needed a Japanese thunder god of its own. But the typical representation was usually depicted as a small red-skinned demon that beats drums to create thunder, something completely different from the look and feel Mortal Kombat was going for. The solution was found within John Carpenter's 1986 classic film, Big Trouble in Little China, with a character named Lightning, one of the three enforcers of Lo Pan known as the Storms. The resemblance to who we know now as Raiden is immediately noticeable. The human appearance, the hat, merging elements of the Japanese god Raiden and the human characteristics of Lightning resulted in the creation of Raiden. In the original Mortal Kombat, Raiden was portrayed by Midway employee and martial artist Carlos Pesina. Sadly, the Raiden hat didn't survive his initial performance. After repeatedly falling during production, the hat was totally ruined. And actually, Carlos Pesina portrayed Raiden in all of his in-game 2D appearances, until the series went 3D. You may also notice Raiden's name is incorrectly spelled Raiden with a Y instead of an I in most every form of media at the time outside of the arcade. Specifically in the home console versions of Mortal Kombat 1 through Trilogy, the Malibu comics, movies, TV series, the developers that ported the home console versions Acclaim feared copyright issues since another game, the Tecmo vertical shoot-'em-up Raiden, was spelled exactly the same way. The solution was to change the I to a Y, and no copyright issues ever occurred. Raiden became so popular and such an icon that represented Mortal Kombat that he appeared outside of the main games. Raiden was quite literally everywhere. In the 2005 Xbox game Unreal Championship 2, The Liandry Conflict, he was included as a secret playable character. Even sports games felt the electric power of the Thunder God. Raiden played football in NFL Blitz, he shot some hoops in NBA Jam Tournament Edition. If you want to go with something a bit more modern, he was a guest character in Injustice 2 as part of the DC Universe crossover, and a character in Broforce called Broden was modeled after Raiden very obviously. He even has Raiden's infamous Superman dive torpedo move, a move that has become infamous among the fanbase for creating the mystery of what the hell is Raiden saying. Some fans speculated that Raiden was saying something in Japanese, some thought he could be speaking broken and mangled English. Leave me some comments down below on what you hear. In the May 1994 issue of GamePro magazine, John Tobias revealed the truth during an interview. Raiden was in fact spouting nonsense. Originally they wanted Raiden to yell something in Japanese, but it simply didn't sound right. So instead of forcing it, sound technician John Hay just started yelling gibberish and they ran with it. Raiden has also appeared in every live-action rendition of Mortal Kombat, some better than others, many completely different than the others. More recently, he was a driving force behind the plot in the 2021 Mortal Kombat live-action reboot, where Raiden was honestly kind of a more boring, laid-back character. The live-action Mortal Kombat Legacy web series had a really weird version where Raiden was locked away in an asylum until he reawakened, then he sets out to gather warriors. The most memorable interpretations by far has come from the original live-action movie, with Christopher Lambert's sometimes over-the-top performance.
The fate of billions will depend upon you.
This interpretation of the character also inspired the Raiden that we see in the live-action Mortal Kombat Conquest series played by Jeffrey Meek. He took his sarcasm and dialed it up to 100. Raiden's a sarcastic dick most of the time, and he absolutely enjoys his godhood. It's hilarious.
Where have you been?
Living my life. How about you?
This is serious. I called for you and you didn't come.
What's it been, 5 minutes? What'd you expect? You call and get instant God?
This is between us.
You got that, Thunder God?
You figured this is a good day to die, Zero?
Why was Lin Kuei there?
I have no idea.
Are you listening to this? If I die, the Earthrealm falls. What a crummy life.
Maybe I'm in over my head. Maybe I should just get out.
What a great idea. That's great. Earthrealm, you're on your own.
Raiden.
Then the infamous sequel to Mortal Kombat the movie, Mortal Kombat Annihilation, where Raiden was recast, he loses his godhood for a bit to help the humans, and he gets a haircut.
Never give up hope.
Raiden?
It's a new look.
And they do a lot of strange things with Raiden. He was supposed to have this huge fight scene with Shiva, which is still in the novel adaptation, but it was cut from the movie, and instead he fights a bunch of reptile clones for some reason. And in this version, Raiden was made the son of Shinnok and brother of Shao Kahn. Oddly enough, this actually did make it specifically into one game. In Mortal Kombat vs. DC Universe's Raiden bio, it says that Raiden and Shao Kahn are brothers, something that was totally left behind and never even hinted at again in any other source. It's just not a thing. In the 90s Malibu comics, Raiden also had an enormous presence, appearing in a ton of them, also continuing the weirdness involving the character with a Raiden and Kano crossover, where Raiden and Kano team up of all people. Raiden constantly speaks in third person, Kano gets godlike powers, then predictably turns against Raiden. Raiden has these two female servants that follows every command. It's all very bizarre. And going back to the 90s, let's not forget the also entertaining version presented in the Defenders of the Realm animated series, where he was kind of a mixture of the video game Raiden and the live action movie one. Overly serious at times, but still had some wit.
Hey, Raiden! Be sure you don't get your feet wet while everyone else is working.
How would you like to eat that tool?
Give it your best shot, girlfriend.
Oh, I assure you, even without my special powers, I'm 10 times the combatant of any of you. So, girlfriend...
You're nothing without your powers.
Oh my, it appears I've gotten them back.
You guys are actually acting like friends?
You kidding? Me and Thunderlips? No chance.
Sea Slug would have been wittier company. I hope I won't have to get used to this painfully slow method of transport.
But what about Raiden's in-game history? How did he come to be so involved with the mortals of Earthrealm? His story begins eons before the original Mortal Kombat, and to understand his origins, you have to understand how the hierarchy of power works within the gods of the Mortal Kombat universe. At the dawn of the universe, there only existed one being, the source of all creation. Eventually, another race of primordial beings appeared known as the Titans, responsible for the laws that governed reality, such as time. Below the Titans, the Elder Gods appeared, some being the children of the Titans. Instead of abilities linked to the governing laws of reality, the Elder Gods' powers were linked more to physical aspects of the universe and different elements. While Titans operated behind the veil of secrecy above the Elder Gods were being used as an energy source to feed the One Being. The One Being fed on their life energy until the Elder Gods turned against it in a cosmic battle. The One Being was too powerful to be destroyed, so its consciousness was separated into multiple parts, each one becoming one of the realms in the universe. And the One Being's essence was separated into 6 divine relics that came to be known as the Kamidogu. They were kept separate and hidden throughout different realms to avoid them merging into one. If the Kamidogu merged, all of reality could be in danger. After the defeat of the One Being, the Elder Gods claimed dominion over the universe and oversaw the mortals that appeared in the realms as life flourished. The Elder Gods had no limits to their jurisdiction and ruled as a council. With such a vast reality to govern, the Elder Gods appointed lesser deities to represent each realm, regular gods. Under the rules of the Elder Gods, the gods below them had limitations imposed on them. They were forbidden to directly participate in mortal affairs unless they were in mortal human form, and doing so risked their godhood. The gods also couldn't interfere in the destinies of other realms that they weren't appointed to. Although they could travel between realms, their powers were severely diminished in realms that they didn't belong. When Earthrealm was still young and new, Raiden was appointed by the Elder Gods as its representative, its god of thunder and protector. As the eons passed, one of the Elder Gods, the son of the Titan Chronica, became consumed by a desire for power and turned against them. Shinnok, the god of death, wished to destroy the Elder Gods and rule the universe alone as he saw fit. Raiden bravely stood against him alongside the other gods and Elder Gods in a destructive war. The battle with Shinnok devastated the realms, even sending the Saurian civilization of Earthrealm away from their home realm into a new world they called Zaterra. With the aid of the Elder Gods, Raiden defeated Shinnok and stripped him of his amulet, where much of Shinnok's raw power was contained. Raiden banished him to the fiery pits of the Netherrealm, weakened and chained for all eternity as punishment. Shinnok's amulet was taken and hidden inside the Temple of Elements, a structure built into the Himalayan mountains of Earthrealm. After its construction, Raiden appointed 4 guardians to protect the amulet inside: Earthrealm's god of earth, water, fire, and his brother, the god of wind, Fujin. As more eons passed, the Outworld warlord Shao Kahn invaded realm after realm, merging them into his own, and the Mortal Kombat tournament was created by the Elder Gods as a safeguard to prevent uncontrolled merging of realms. If all the realms remerged into a single one, it would create the possibility of the One Being's return. Throughout human history, Raiden oversaw the participation of Earthrealm's combatants and witnessed both the great Kung Lao's victory in Mortal Kombat, saving Earthrealm, and his ultimate loss against the Shokan Prince Goro. After his loss in several centuries, Earthrealm approached its 10th tournament. One more loss meant that Shao Kahn would have dominion over Earthrealm. Prior to the 10th tournament, Sub-Zero of Earthrealm's Lin Kuei assassins was hired to steal Shinnok's amulet from the temple. His employer was Quan Chi, a Netherrealm demon sorcerer that allied himself with Shinnok that was seeking to free him from the prison that Raiden doomed him to. The skilled Sub-Zero did succeed in infiltrating the temple, defeated the 4 guardians, and with their defeat, the barrier protecting the amulet was undone. Quan Chi immediately took action and took the amulet with him in order to bestow Shinnok with his original power. Once Raiden learned what happened, he was infuriated and rushed to the temple to confront Sub-Zero.
Do you realize what you've done?
I was just earning my living.
Your clan's ignorance and greed will cost this entire realm. You'll now have to set things straight.
Quan Chi could simply be a lunatic sorcerer. I never heard of an elder god named Shinnok, or of a place called the Netherrealm.
You better start believing in both, because you're going to the Netherrealm, and you're going to bring back the amulet. We must act quickly. I have no dominion in the Netherrealm. You are reality's only hope.
I'll do it, Thunder God. Only because I don't have a choice.
Then stand back. This is the portal into the Netherrealm. Once through, follow Quan Chi, and try to get the amulet before he gets to Shinnok. I also have this advice. Beware the Brothers of the Shadow. The Netherrealm is a place for lost souls. If you fail, your soul will join theirs, as well as all the souls in this entire realm.
Sub-Zero had no option. Raiden demanded that he enter the Netherrealm and undo his mistake. Sub-Zero faced his demons in the underworld prison of the Netherrealm while making his way to Shinnok's fortress, and in the end, defeated Quan Chi with the help of his demon assassin Serena. When he faced Shinnok, he barely escaped with his life. The only reason Sub-Zero survived was because Quan Chi gave his master a fake amulet, a convincing replica, while keeping the original one for himself. The replica was returned to the temple, something even Raiden was fooled by.
Here. The amulet.
Impressive, Sub-Zero. Perhaps you'll reconcile your reckless past after all.
That's it? Not even a thank you?
Thank yourself for undoing a problem that you created.
Quan Chi told me that you sent me because my soul was tainted with evil. Is that true?
You are a superb warrior, Sub-Zero. Only you can control your destiny. Not even the gods can alter your chosen path in life.
Was that a yes? Or a no?
That was a yes. But only you can change it.
After Sub-Zero's victory over Shinnok, the 10th Earthrealm Mortal Kombat tournament approached. The evil sorcerer and representative of Outworld Shang Tsung was the host of the tournament, and he extended invitations to the participants. Just before the tournament, Raiden discovered a portal that was open in Earthrealm and set out to secure it. It was opened by a warrior named Shujinko. Unknown to him, Shujinko was being manipulated by the spirit of Onaga the Dragon King, the original emperor of Outworld, seeking his own resurrection and posing as an elder god.
Begone. This portal is not for use by mortals.
Who are you?
I am the Thunder God, Raiden. This ancient portal has been activated. I must secure it to prevent intrusion from other realms.
Lord Raiden, I am Shujinko. I am the champion of the Elder Gods. It was I who opened the portal.
Champion, you say? I think not. A champion of the Elder Gods would possess the might of 10 warriors and could fight with his eyes closed. But if the Elder Gods have indeed unleashed their champion, they must be concerned that the end of the realms is near. Your presence might be connected with the Mortal Kombat tournament here in Earthrealm. Have you come to aid us?
I did come to fight for Earthrealm in the tournament, but I have recently been ordered to the Netherrealm.
I am sure the Elder Gods have their reasons for redirecting you at so crucial a time. It may be that the Shaolin have already chosen their representative. In any event, I will keep a close watch over the tournament's proceedings. Shang Tsung is a treacherous sorcerer. If he wins this time, Earthrealm will belong to Shao Kahn.
If you need my aid when I am finished with my task in the Netherrealm, search for me. I will gladly assist you.
Thank you, Shujinko. Good luck.
Shujinko failed to participate, but the Shaolin monks had already chosen their representative, a young warrior named Liu Kang, and Raiden would also be invited to fight. Shang Tsung had extended an invitation to the Thunder God. When Earthrealm lost its 10th tournament in a row, he wanted its most powerful protector to watch it fall. With a commanding answer, Raiden accepted the invitation and took a human mortal form in order to participate, and threatened that anyone who faced Raiden would be crushed, leading to the events of the original Mortal Kombat. In his non-canon Mortal Kombat 1 ending, Raiden easily destroys all competition, including Shang Tsung, and claims victory, but he quickly becomes bored and takes ownership of the Mortal Kombat tournament. In his new version of the tournament, Raiden invites the other gods to participate, and the ensuing titanic battles create such destruction that the entire world is destroyed. In the canon version of events, Liu Kang defeats Shang Tsung and saves Earthrealm from merging with Outworld. With Shang Tsung's defeat, his island where the tournament was being held began collapsing, and Raiden flew by, saving the life of Johnny Cage. Before its final collapse, Raiden created a portal and sent Johnny through it to safety, then returned to the heavens to watch over the mortals. Shang Tsung survived and returned to Outworld, begging for his life, and Shao Kahn spared him after a proposition. Shang Tsung would offer Raiden and Earthrealm a second tournament held in Outworld, where Outworld would have the clear advantage. This time if Earthrealm won, Shao Kahn would give up his claim of the realm forever. He witnessed Shang Tsung's treachery as the sorcerer attacked Liu Kang's Shaolin monks. and the other Earthrealm combatants in order to draw Raiden's attention. Raiden received his message and demanded to know what plot Shang Tsung was concocting, making it clear that he wasn't welcome in Earthrealm. Shang Tsung proposed the second tournament, and Raiden saw it as an opportunity to end the constant threat of Shao Kahn, leading to the events of Mortal Kombat 2. In his non-canon Mortal Kombat 2 ending, Raiden defeats Shao Kahn and without mercy destroys him and all of his minions. He also destroys the dimensional gates that allowed Shao Kahn to pass through to Earthrealm, preventing anyone from being able to do it in the future. In the canon version of events, Liu Kang proves himself once again to be the champion of Mortal Kombat and defeats Shao Kahn. The Emperor was wounded severely but survived and began plotting his revenge. He had no intention of honoring his word. Earthrealm would be his if he had to take it by force. Shao Kahn gathered his armies and resurrected his dead wife Sindel in a plot to cross over to Earthrealm. His armies came with him, and the massive invasion of his forces caused unimaginable damage and death. Shao Kahn used his dark magic and absorbed the souls of all mankind to increase his own power. Raiden scrambled to protect the souls of his chosen warriors from Shao Kahn's attack. While most of humanity was destroyed, only a small amount of combatants remained to fight back, thanks to Raiden's efforts. Raiden immediately left to consult with the Elder Gods, and he was horrified that they chose to do nothing. Although Shao Kahn still invaded Earthrealm after losing, the Elder Gods had an entire universe to rule and chose not to interfere. If he went against the wishes of the Elder Gods, he would be stripped of his godhood. Raiden chose to fight as a mortal alongside these brave humans against Shao Kahn's invasion force, leading to the events of Mortal Kombat Trilogy. In his non-canon Mortal Kombat Trilogy ending, Raiden guided Earthrealm's chosen warriors against the Outworld armies and faced Shao Kahn himself. The battle between Kahn and Raiden shook the very core of the earth, but Raiden emerged victorious. In the canon version of events, Liu Kang defeated Shao Kahn and sent him back into Outworld, a broken, weak emperor with no power, and Earthrealm was restored. After Kahn's defeat, Raiden reclaimed his godhood and was allowed to continue his duties as Earthrealm's protector. In the Netherrealm, an old threat was returning. Shinnok, the Elder God of Death, had found a way to escape the Netherrealm through the realm of Edenia. Quan Chi helped his master gather a demon army, and Shinnok entered Edenia. From there, the other realms and the heavens fell into chaos. Shinnok confronted the Elder Gods and he attacked them. The other gods stood in defense of the weakened Elder Gods, and Fujin barely escaped the battle, plummeting to Earthrealm. Once Fujin landed in Earthrealm, he was discovered by Liu Kang and his new apprentice Kai. The two warriors stood side by side in defense of Fujin against the Netherrealm demons until Raiden arrived, blasting all surrounding threats with his lightning. Shinnok was winning the war. Raiden and Fujin were the only surviving Earthrealm gods, and Raiden took Fujin with him to continue the battle against Shinnok in the Elder God's Eternal Palace, and he ordered Liu Kang to enter Edenia with the others. Eventually, Sonya Blade and her allies found Liu Kang, and using newly developed technology, she opened a portal to Edenia in order to confront Quan Chi and Shinnok's forces, leading to the events of Mortal Kombat 4 and Gold. After many battles, Liu Kang made his way to Shinnok's chamber and confronted the Elder God in combat. Shinnok carried his amulet again, or so he believed. Actually, the replica Quan Chi made long ago. His power was diminished enough that he didn't stand a chance against Liu Kang in direct combat. After Shinnok's defeat, Raiden was awarded by the Elder Gods and granted an upgraded status.
Raiden, for many ages you have protected the Earthrealm from the forces of evil. You have earned your place among us. With your ascension into the pantheon of Elder Gods, you must choose your successor as the new protector of Earth.
With the aid of Earth's mortals, I have once again managed to defeat Shinnok and his minions. I choose Fujin. He will guide the mortals of Earth as they move into the next millennia.
Raiden chose Fujin as the new protector of Earthrealm while he took on the duties of an Elder God. Years later, Quan Chi re-emerged and formed a deadly alliance with Shang Tsung. Together, the two sorcerers traveled the realms to remove any possible threats to their power, including the champion of Mortal Kombat, Liu Kang. They ambushed him in a surprise attack, and Shang Tsung killed Liu Kang dishonorably. Raiden was angered by Liu Kang's death and pleaded with the other Elder Gods to realize the potential damage of the two sorcerers' partnership. But even with that knowledge, the Elder Gods refused to interfere. With no one to stop them, Quan Chi and Shang Tsung discovered the remains of Onaga, the Dragon King's army, and began working to transfer souls into the immortal soldiers. Together, they planned to reawaken Onaga's army and use it to take over all the realms. Raiden was disgusted at the indifference of the Elder Gods and chose to abandon his status as one of them. He relinquished his new status and returned to Earth as a regular god to gather a fighting force against the coming threat, leading to the events of Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance.
I can no longer stand idly by and watch this evil consume the world. I have relinquished my status as Elder God to return to Earth and lead you all to battle against our old adversaries. We must act now. We must stop this deadly alliance.
Earthrealm's combatants were gathered, and Raiden transported them into Outworld to face the Deadly Alliance. In his non-canon Deadly Alliance ending, Raiden defeated Quan Chi and Shang Tsung and fiercely proclaimed he would protect Earthrealm from any future threats.
Once again, the threat to Earthrealm has been vanquished. The Deadly Alliance is no more. What dangers lie in the future I can no longer foresee. Perhaps the Dragon King will in fact return. Perhaps the depths of the Netherrealm will spew forth a legion of Oni. Even the vampire people pose a threat to peace now that Outworld is in chaos. But one thing is certain, Earthrealm must be protected. I have abandoned my status as Elder God to aid these mortals and act defiant of the heavens. I will instead remain here on Earth as God of Thunder.
In the canon version of events, there was no victory. This time, tragedy struck Earthrealm's heroes. The sorcerers had gathered an enormous horde of Tarkatan warriors, a massive number that overwhelmed Raiden's fighters. They were all slain in battle, and Raiden was left to stop Shang Tsung and Quan Chi alone. Raiden was defeated by the Deadly Alliance, and as evil sorcerers do, they immediately turned on each other. Shang Tsung desired Shinnok's amulet that Quan Chi carried on him, but an even greater threat had returned. Onaga the Dragon King was resurrected. Shujinko over the years had completed his quest and used the Kami Dogu, holding the essence of the One Being to resurrect Onaga, exactly as the Dragon King had manipulated him to do. Raiden reawakened and realized that the only chance any of them had was to work together against the raw power of Onaga. Together they blasted the Dragon King with every ounce of power they had, but Onaga was simply too strong. In a final attempt to stop his advance, Raiden gathered his energy and released his godly essence into a massive, powerful explosion. The blast obliterated the tomb of the Dragon King and Raiden himself, but Onaga survived with Shinnok's genuine amulet in hand. Using his enhanced powers, Onaga resurrected Earthrealm's fallen warriors and mentally put them under his complete control. Although Raiden had exploded, a god is not so easily killed. In time, his essence gathered and reformed, but Raiden was a changed god. When he realized that Onaga was resurrected due to the actions of the mortal he had crossed paths with years ago, Shujinko, he was enraged. Shujinko's own need for glory caused Onaga's return, and Raiden would no longer allow the will of men to determine the fate of Earthrealm. Under Raiden's new philosophy, mortals would fight for their realm, or he would destroy them. If his benevolence wasn't enough to keep the humans safe, perhaps fear would. This new Dark Raiden had no mercy or compassion, and he couldn't protect Earthrealm alone. he would need to create a powerful enforcer, an enforcer he would find in Liu Kang. Centuries before, he defeated an ancient group of necromancers calling themselves the Huan to prevent them from using their dark magic on the dead, but desperate times called for desperate measures. Raiden stole the body of Liu Kang from its crypt and took it to the Ancient Order's underground temple. He used their incantations and spells to revive the body of Liu Kang without a soul. With a huge thunderclap of lightning, the zombified empty vessel, Liu Kang's body woke up screaming in agony, and Raiden set it free to wreak havoc on those who have done harm to Earthrealm, leading to the events of Mortal Kombat Deception. In his non-canon Mortal Kombat Deception ending, Raiden defeated Onaga and dispensed his brand of justice on Shujinko.
My patience for mortals has worn thin. If I am to protect Earthrealm, I must punish those who would threaten it. The fool Shujinko had let himself be deceived into believing that he worked for a greater good. He was in fact an unknowing tool of a greater evil, one that had almost caused the destruction of Earthrealm. That Shujinko undid his mistake and destroyed the Dragon King is of no importance. Those who place Earthrealm in harm's way will pay with their lives.
In the canon version of events, Shujinko defeated Onaga, and Ermac and the spirit of Liu Kang restored the Earthrealm combatants controlled by Onaga. Ages of Mortal Kombat started taking its toll on the realms, and the critical point was soon to be reached. The constant combat between the realms was beginning to weaken the very fabric of reality, and all of existence was preparing to fall apart. Raiden's use of dark magic attracted the attention of Shinnok from the Netherrealm, and the Elder God of Death reached out to this new Raiden. He offered him an alliance. If Raiden became his ally, Shinnok would ensure the safety of Earthrealm above all other realms. Raiden accepted the offer, but was well aware of Shinnok's treachery. He would use this alliance for now to uncover what Shinnok was really up to. In reality, the elemental Blaze was the only hope for the realms in the upcoming apocalypse. Whoever defeated Blaze would claim its reality-altering powers and use them as they wished. Shinnok was plotting to form an army of darkness to destroy Blaze, and he could claim the power for himself. During the events of Mortal Kombat Armageddon Conquest mode, the half-god Taven was awakened, a man that was on a destined quest to destroy Blaze and stop the end of everything. During his quest, Taven came upon Shao Kahn and his allies, forming battle plans for the upcoming Battle of Armageddon. They were aware of Taven's quest to destroy Blaze, and Shao Kahn had previously struck a deal with Raiden. If Raiden stopped Taven from completing his quest, he would ensure Earthrealm's protection, just as Shinnok promised. Raiden also knew not to trust Kahn, but kept his end of the bargain for appearances.
Do not go through that portal.
Raiden, you look different. But I'm glad you're here. I need your help. Shao Kahn and his allies are planning something.
It is none of my concern.
I don't understand. You always fought against Shao Kahn's forces. Now he's planning another battle and you won't lift a finger? We must not stand idly by. We must stop this—
No, Taven. I have struck a deal with the Emperor. Shao Kahn will honor Earthrealm's independence when his forces have won.
When he's won? What are you saying? Why would that lunatic spare Earthrealm?
Because in return, I will prevent you from completing your quest.
Taven won the battle and left Raiden unconscious, leading to the events of Mortal Kombat Armageddon. Shinnok finished forming his army, and the Earthrealm's defenders formed their own army of light to counter his advance. The Battle of Armageddon to claim the power of Blaze had begun. Raiden, now aware of Shinnok's plot, joined the forces of light to stop them. In his non-canon Armageddon ending, Raiden defeated Blaze and used his newfound ultimate power to put a permanent end to conflict everywhere.
The Thunder God, Raiden, overpowered Blaze and absorbed the energy intended to transform the sons of Argus. His strength enhanced beyond that of other gods, Raiden became a deity of unimaginable power.
releasing his fury upon the realms. He destroyed them all. None would threaten Earthrealm again.
In the canon version of events, Raiden was the last man standing against Shao Kahn. The Outworld Emperor was successful in defeating Blaze and gained his power to remake all of reality as he deemed. Although he fought valiantly, the powered-up Shao Kahn easily defeated Raiden. The only hope that remained was to stop the events of Armageddon from ever happening. Raiden's last hope was the amulet that he carried, a gift from the Elder Gods, with the power to monitor the timeline and send basic messages to the past. In a last-ditch effort, he gathered enough strength to send a message back to his previous self during the events of the original Mortal Kombat, creating a new history, a new historically altered timeline in the Mortal Kombat universe.
My venom spreads. It is the end of all things. Armageddon. Stop! It is done. Your time has passed. Ages wasted in foolish resistance. Now is the dawn of my rule.
No strawberry. The dog Ridlock Jerem Maltel.
Yes.
Melera.
Pray to the world. As your
I tell. Rechup Uth Oi Denizai. He must win.
If you'd like to support my work, I invite you to become a patron so you can get access to my Patreon feed, filled with exclusive updates and progress reports on videos. There's multiple levels of support available. You can also choose to become a channel member and gain access to exclusive polls deciding what games are going to be streamed, moderator privileges, badges, and emojis for live chat. And I'd like to thank my current patrons and channel members for their continued support. If you enjoyed the video, hit like, subscribe, and click the bell for all notifications. Make sure you follow me on social media so you never miss a thing. Catch you guys later.